this again is a giveaway card. On top of the fact that these cards are symmetrical, and for my mind, they are absolutely beautiful. Right now, I do not know, am I in or am I out on JK5? And right now, 24 hours after posting my video last night, I still do not know if I landed the plane like I hoped to with the message of the video, but that's for you to decide, not for me. But I really hope you checked out last night's video and got that print run in for the Derek Jeter Jacob Rochester, because the window is closing for you to guess that print run. And welcome to the second to last Wednesday show of the Project 2020 Nightly News. My name is Chris, otherwise I'm on Twitter and Instagram is at CRT_sportscards. And my website, CRTsportscards.com, is where you want to go today, tomorrow, and deep into 2021. And it's all around Project 2020. And unlike Tuesdays, on Wednesdays, there is actually a lot to talk about. We have now seen 9 of the 15 cards, and we've seen 3 of the first print runs for the week. But more importantly for you, a fan of the show here, we have our print run contest winner for that Jackie Robinson Ben Baller. And again, another repeat winner. I didn't really think about this through when I put in the contest. I think, hey, if you win once, you can't win again. But John from Iowa, with a print run guess of 5,903, came the closest to the print run, which came in at 5,796. So John from Iowa, fantastic job. Congrats on the double win, as he also won the Matt Taylor Mike Trout. And then on the other 2 cards that released on Monday, we have Tony Gwynn's final card by Keith Shore coming in just over 2.2K. We are starting to see the artist's final cards have a little bit of a bump, so very nice to see that card come in over 2,000, just about 10% over that 2K mark. And then the Natural Dwight Gooden. And I will say this till next year and the year after, everybody is sleeping on Natural. For this card to come in at 1.8, I think a lot of people missed the card. But from a potential value perspective in the future, maybe it's a good thing for everyone who collects Natural. But I really think at the end of the day, Natural is going to come and go in the set. A lot of people are going to miss his cards because they are some of the best looking cards in the set. But now shifting away from yesterday's news to today's releases. And today, with just 15 cards remaining in the set to be seen, we say goodbye to 2 more artists and 2 more players. The one artist that released the card is also of a player that we are going to see again in the set. But saying goodbye first today is Efdot with his Frank Thomas. And then number 2, Gregory Siff saying goodbye with his Jackie Robinson. And I know right now there is a lot of chatter and a lot of controversy around Gregory Siff's Jackie Robinson. But I can tell you right now, there is no better way to end a Gregory Siff set than this card and the way it's designed. Because think about the card that confused us the most at the beginning. It was his George Brett followed by his Nolan Ryan. But we will come back to that Jackie Robinson here in a few minutes, talking about another artist that released their final card in Project 2020. It is Efdot with his Frank Thomas. And you know my affection for Efdot along with Gregory Siff. So for me, on a personal level, here again, this is a difficult day for me to say goodbye to 2 of my favorite artists in the set. But on Efdot, when you think back to the beginning of Project 2020, when you think back of who we knew in the first couple of card designs, I will say right now, there is no person in this set from an artist's perspective that has improved their standing more with the community than Efdot has. You can go back to my video last week around Efdot, but I am very, very happy to see where Efdot finished the set, because he's ending his set right where he started his journey in Project 2020. When you think back to his very first card, the Mark McGwire, what was the most distinct feature of that card? The stained glass background of Mark McGwire. And what do we have here? He brings it back for his final card, his Frank Thomas. So it's a fantastic way to bookend his Project 2020 journey, from stained glass to start to stained glass at the end. And I'm going to cut in here as a really funny part. I just recorded that last segment around the bookend of his Project 2020 journey, and then I jumped onto the Facebook Project 2020 group just to see what the comments were about the card, and I just saw Efdot's post around bookending and this stained glass call out. So I did not copy what Efdot said. I think it's just hilarious. I said what he wrote down on the Facebook group. So Efdot, overall, fantastic end to your set, and thank you so much. And I guess copying you is the greatest form of flattery, even though it was completely inadvertent on this video. But now shifting away from Efdot for the very last time in Project 2020, up second today, releasing their Derek Jeter, is Don C. And I will say here recently, Don C has had some very interesting references in his cards, but I think it's brought down his set a notch just a little bit. And yes, we had the Chronic, but it wasn't the same year as the Gooden. We had Michelangelo, and of course Sandy Koufax wasn't alive when Michelangelo was alive. And now we are presented with a more modern reference, but this Derek Jeter is a direct reference to Seinfeld, which I will say is a fantastic show, but for a lot of young people out there, they have no concept of what Seinfeld is, and for that, in and of itself, it's a tragedy. And I will say his references now are super simple, but when you look back at his first cards, they were very, very deep references. When you go back to Frank Thomas, he had Auburn, AU, the initials. AU is gold on the periodic table. Ripken, Iron Man, the Iron Card, the Griffey, the Willie Mays. There were some very, very deep references on the cards. It really made you think. These last couple of cards did not really make you think. When you see it, you know what it references, and I think that kind of lessens the desire of the card or the really thinking of the card, because the next card that releases today, you really have to think about, and I don't know at the moment if we really understand what Gregory Siff did with his Jackie Robinson. But first, I did want to show off a very quick card in the mail today, and this package, for some reason from Topps, took forever to ship and then to arrive at my house. But today, thankfully, and this was the first time I'd ever received a bonus card in a shipment, but I did end up with a rainbow foil Mike Trout by Gregory Siff. But now getting back to this Jackie Robinson, and I'll tell you straight up right now, I'm not about to try to sell you on this card and tell you this is the greatest Jackie Robinson in the set, because right now, my favorite, it's going to be that Natural right there. But when you take a look at this card, you have to look at what is not on the card and also what is on the card. Yes, Jackie Robinson, in theory, is not on the card, but he is actually there. Look at the small figure on the side with the Monarchs hat. There is Jackie. And if you look at the logo for the Monarchs, it is there. So what, to me, I am seeing here, I am seeing a Kansas City Monarchs Jackie Robinson. Now, why is Jackie Robinson the way he is with the red outline? I don't know. And I don't know if I'll ever know for sure why this card is made. But it makes you think, and when you think back to Gregory Siff's work in Project 2020, and when you think about the future of Project 2020, Gregory Siff is ending the set right where he started, with the big question mark. None of us understood his work at the beginning, and it's going to take a couple more months to really understand this Jackie Robinson. So for that, I am very thankful, because it's not just simply looking at the card and understanding it. I have to study it, and I have to truly appreciate it to really understand it. And for that, I'm very thankful. It is also my giveaway card for the day, as this is one of my most anticipated releases. So right now, what are you doing other than getting your print run guess in for that Jackie Robinson? Best of luck for the winners, and hopefully we will get a new winner on this card. So with that, I hope you have a fantastic evening, and I'll see you back tomorrow night.